All eyes on Doge. Big run up to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin up movement in Doge. Dogecoin up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin up movement in Doge. Dogecoin 42.69. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? It's a Friday. Hanging on, right? We're hanging on. I'm in a better mood today. You don't have to worry about me. I'm all right. Because this was kind of expected, right? It was kind of expected. We start here looking at the Bitcoin futures chart, CME futures, to talk about why we are bearish, but not officially in a bear market. Two indicators need to happen. One of them is close. The second one is close too. And that's where I will be. But you can tell me in the poll what you think. Are we in a bear market for crypto? And that's like all of crypto, right? Not just Dogecoin. Dogecoin's bearish and everything's bull. No, there's a few, and we'll look at them. We'll look at Litecoin. We'll look at a few others, right? What's going on? Because there's some that are actually not doing bad. But Bitcoin is getting hammered, and we'll look at the Bitcoin chart too. Because you don't usually see that. You don't usually see Bitcoin going down in a red market farther than Doge, ETH, Algorand, Solana, Cardano, SHIB. I mean, SHIB is outperforming Bitcoin today. It's like, what? Are we on a different planet here? SHIB is outperforming Bitcoin on a red day? What? So, yeah. No, Sailor didn't leave in a boat. It was just a stupid AI, like, hold on kind of thing. That was all that was, Manel. Just a stupid image. These AI images are just so ridiculous. It's like half of my feed now on X is all this AI crap. And I'm just like, I'm so done with it. I'm just like, no. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that AI crap. If you want to make a meme, make a meme. Don't ask Grok to make it for you. Stupid. But hey, look. How I feel right now, and this is my special message for those that come in later in the stream, coming back to the beginning, special message here. I need two things to happen. First, the CME gap. It's the CME gap, and this is the futures chart for Bitcoin. And we took out this one here. We took out the smaller, higher one here, which was down to 96.7, right? We took that out on this drop. But there's one more that I've been talking about right below 93K. Right below 93K, right there. That's the big one. And I've been talking about this one all summer long in the fall. Because, you know, I already made two Dogecoin bear market videos. I made one about 3 weeks ago, and then I made another one back in like June. And what was I looking at? Probably this, right? CME futures. And does that CME gap need to be taken out for Bitcoin to go higher? Or does Bitcoin drop? Jasper, you weren't here yesterday, right? I don't believe in them until they happen. And I was always pointing to this one right here. I was always pointing to this one. It's like 93. And then when we were up at 115, 120, I was like, it's not going to 93K. Well, now we're pretty darn close to 93K. So we are at that inflection point right now right now, what's going to happen if Bitcoin drops down, and to close that gap, it actually needs to go down to 91.7. So 93 down to 91.7, and that would close that gap right there. That would close that gap. If Bitcoin does that, what's the next move? Is the next move to bounce and go higher, or are we truly in a bear market and it continues down? That, my friends, is my decision point and whether I think we're in a bear market. Are we bearish? Sure, no doubt. Bearish. Covered that this morning in my video. Bearish. But that doesn't mean bear market yet. Unfortunately, once you finally get the symbol that, yes, indeed, it's a bear market, prices have already dropped 20 to 30% from the highs, because you don't know when it hits a high. You don't know if this is just taking out leverage on a bounce and it's going to go higher, or if it's just going to keep going down. You don't know that. And by the time it's confirmed, you're already down 20 to 30%, sometimes even more. That's just the way it works. So do you have conviction, or is it just doomsday, right? So that's what I'm looking at right here, is that CME gap. Now, Dogecoin, 16.3, a bit of a recovery from the dip down into 15s we had this morning. We'll look at that. And here's Bitcoin getting hammered. And as I posted on, let me get back to my profile here. As I posted this morning, Bitcoin getting pummeled, now down below 95K in a red market. When Bitcoin is dropping more than Doge, you know there's something else going on. There's something else going on. Because I've never seen this. I've never seen Bitcoin down 4% and Doge only like 0.5%. SHIB only 0.5%. XRP 0.5%. Bitcoin is down 4% now. I just have never seen that. Typically, the alts drop harder than Bitcoin. So on a day like today, typically it's a green day and we see Bitcoin dominance going down, right? On a green day. Because alts usually outperform Bitcoin on the green days. But no, today's a red day and Bitcoin dominance has a big red candle on the daily here. Big red candle. In fact, it's from the top of its purple box almost all the way down to the bottom on the daily right there. That's a pretty big red candle for Bitcoin dominance. So we'll be talking more about that when we get into alts in just a minute, but that's what we're looking at the moment, which means, of course, Dogecoin dominance is bouncing back up and Doge versus Bitcoin is bouncing back up. Because Bitcoin is getting pummeled today. That's the word of the day, is pummeled. Pummeled. So we had our death cross, not only on Doge, but many alts also had death crosses. Bitcoin looks like its death cross is accelerating, its impending death cross, and so it may hit tomorrow, but it may just squeak out one more day till Sunday, which is when I predicted it was going to happen. Yes, a Bitcoin death cross. Now, we've looked at Bitcoin death crosses before, and there's already been like 4 of them in this bull cycle, or let's say call it a 4-year cycle, right? In a 4-year cycle, Bitcoin's already had a few of these, and each time prices went higher. Now, eventually, price isn't going to go higher and it's going to come down. But so far, they've gone higher. And we can go back and we can look at when they were right back here, right? This was in April 2025. We had a Bitcoin death cross and the price of Bitcoin was $78,000. And what did Bitcoin do? It went up over 100K, right? So much for the theory that death crosses are doom and gloom, because we had it right here. And Bitcoin went on a 40% run, you know? So all of this stuff about death crosses, it's like, don't believe the FUD. It doesn't mean anything. It's showing the most recent trend where the 50-day moving averages falls below the 200-day moving average. That's all it is. And again, the last time we had it was April, and we know April was the bottom, right, of this year. Everything was bottoming out. Bitcoin went all the way down to 74K right there. And then it turned around and went back up over 100K. So Bitcoin death cross, so what? ETH's death cross is still a bit of ways, but most of these others have already hit death crosses. Sol's is coming. Cardano's already happened. HBAR's already happened, and on and on and on and on. So, and Dogecoin's already happened as well. So let's zoom in on the Dogecoin chart, on the 30-minute chart. We're in the red box. Still in Charlotte's favorite red box. We got to get back to 17 cents. And then we'll be between two boxes again. Can we do that? Well, my opinion, and you know, right, it's all based on news and catalysts. Yes, news and catalysts, because that's how Dogecoin trades. And I've said that again and again and again. So we start with this. From the entire crypto market, we've had over $200 billion erased, meaning the market cap, right? Total market cap of crypto has gone down $200 billion from 3.4 to 3.2. And that's just in one day. So yeah, that, ouch, right? Ouch. And we'll get into liquidations in a minute. Ash Crypto is like, hey, finally bought my first car thanks to the crypto bull run of 2025. Yay, right? Yay. The crypto bull run that wasn't in 2025. It just didn't happen. Now, there are a few coins here and there that have done well, but for the most part, this is what we got. This is what we got this time. It's almost like the crypto gods are just like teaching us a lesson, right? It's like all you guys who thought October, Moonvember is like, nope, not this year. Not this year. And of course, we see that with the degen heavy leverage trading, mostly on the longs. That's a lot of money getting wiped out again today on the longs. Altcoin Sherpa says, look, and for the Bitcoin chart here, unfortunately, this price action is just going to keep continuing until we hit some sort of region of interest. Maybe something like 91K at this point. 91K. What could that be? The bottom of the CME gap, right? 91K. Bottom of the CME gap. Is that a region of interest? Will big buying come in at that point? Are there a whole lot of buyers sitting on the sidelines waiting for the Bitcoin price to hit that CME gap? And then they start buying. Interesting. Or are we just in a bear market and it's going to go down? We'll look at some bear market targets too. We'll do that in a little bit. Colin's like, Bitcoin is about 1 day away from the death cross. Death cross! Oh, death cross! So, here's the chart, right? Getting close to the death cross right there, right? Just like I showed. And we have this big giant megaphone pattern. It doesn't mean anything. Again, these patterns really don't mean anything. right? It's just connecting lines on a chart. Death cross. The death cross is a timing element for when the bottom might be in. Isn't that interesting? The death cross might show you where the bottom is. Will it mark the next bottom as it has done before, which of course I just showed you? We're very close now. And Colin says, I think we're going to get a strong bounce following the death cross. Could be tomorrow, could be Sunday. Now, just to let you know, I will not be live on Saturday, taking the day off, but I'll be back on Sunday, normal time. So I'll sort of sum up the weekend trading and then look forward to the week ahead on Sunday. So this 50-week moving average, right? This is this other one, the 50-week moving average. This is number 2. We go to the weekly, we look at the 50-week moving average, and we are clearly below it, my friends. It's up here at 103,000. It's not looking like we're going to be able to get back up there. So that's the first indicator to fall of the 2 indicators I say need to be hit, where I am finally saying, okay, bear market. There's no doubt we're bullish or we're bearish, right? But I'm not predicting bear market yet. The weekly closes Sunday night. Sunday night is the weekly close. So we will be looking at that on my live stream on Sunday, late afternoon, evening. We will be looking at where is the Bitcoin price here. Are buyers going to come in now and try and bring the price back up? Or are we going to go lower? Or maybe just bounce around sideways some more? We'll be watching that. Dogecoin also has been bearish, no doubt. Since we got back up and touched 30 cents here early September, been bearish. So that was Colin. Bitcoin Census says, look, ETH versus Bitcoin has flipped its own 50-week moving average. Yes, the 50-week moving average for ETH versus Bitcoin. ETH powered over it, came back and retested as support, and now ready to move higher. That's ETH versus Bitcoin. And that chart is right here. ETH of Bitcoin. That's ETH dominance. What happened to my ETH Bitcoin chart? I got to find it again. That ain't it. That ain't it. ETH Bitcoin. ETH Bitcoin. Hello. I'll have to find it another time. Oh, I'm in futures. Duh. No wonder. Ethereum Bitcoin. So this is what we hit. Crossed over, came back, retest, ready to move higher. That's it. Okay. We move on. I got a couple more things to show, and then I'll get you guys in the chat. Matthew Highland, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance now is dropping. We showed this at the beginning of the stream. Bitcoin dominance is coming down. Matthew thinks 44% is a good target, and I'm like 50. You can half an alt season, 50 for Bitcoin dominance. And again, on a day like today, we have Bitcoin falling a lot harder than alts. So Bitcoin dominance is going down. Again, we don't typically see that. We don't typically see that. So, George says correlation between the business cycle and Bitcoin. So this is the chart that talks about extended cycle, super cycle, because the business cycle is down near the bottom right now, here late 2025. And in the past, when this has bottomed, Bitcoin has gone on a run. When this is bottomed, Bitcoin's going on a run. Well, guess what? This is now bottoming again, the business cycle. Is Bitcoin about to go on another run? Tie that in with when quantitative easing starts. Again, quantitative tightening is going to end on December 1st. Jerome Powell said that. Quantitative easing starts a couple months after. That would be in 2026. So this is the one big thing that people are looking at when they're talking about extended or super cycles, which means we're bearish now, but we could actually be bullish in a year when we're supposed to be in a bear market. So we have that out there. Will Dogecoin, SHIB, Pepe, renewed selling pressure, bearish market sentiment? Again, they're not even saying bear market yet, but bearish market sentiment. I agree. That's where we are. Bearish market sentiment. Dogecoin remains vulnerable as it ticks higher after 3 straight days of a downtrend. SHIB, 4 consecutive days of losses, but today's isn't so bad. Pepe extends decline. Retail demand wanes amid steady bearish momentum. So people aren't buying. They're not buying. And of course, always nice fun things about Doge being posted on X. This is a good one with the sphere. It's all good. It's all good. Liquidations continue. The $100,000 ones or more right up until the live stream started. We were pretty much looking at shorts getting taken out, but now it's turning back around and taking out longs, including Pepe, $111,000 long, leverage long trade on Pepe. Liquidated. Oh my. So that's what we got. How you guys doing? Surely the market makers will go after those huge shorts. I showed that in my video this morning. A lot of big numbers up there. For now, for Bitcoin to get from 95 up to like 110, 111, 112, where the biggest shorts are, that's a big move. That's a big move. Revo says, I don't want to wait another 4 years. I get that, right? It's like, man, we're going to round trip again? Buy in depressed markets, different sectors, little here, little there. This increases your chances. That is an approach that's a more diversified approach. But looking back to 2022, I would have done much better financially if I would just done Bitcoin, Doge, and Solana, like just those 3. I would have done better. But I was of the mindset at the time to spread it out, be more diversified, and I'll be able to catch whatever pumps. And I did get a Jasmine, and Jasmine got a good pump for me. But I had more on the kind of crappy sideways, or ended up losing some money on a number of my trades as well. So yeah. Doesn't this mean if Bitcoin goes up, alts are going to go up more since we're already outperforming Bitcoin? That's typically what we see, aesthetic. That's typically what we see. If Bitcoin rebounds back up over 110, we're going to have a big pump in alts, I think. Yep, business cycle, right-handed cycle. Agreed. QE coming. I know nobody wants A-Star. Nobody wants Elon tweets anymore. We want Elon's actions. We want the actual thing to happen, not just a tweet. That's what we want. I'm here early today. I announced I was going to be early. You probably didn't hear that, but yes. Today, Friday, starting a little early. Got a lot to cover. Got a special message at the beginning for those wondering where I stand. Going into alts, Doge X payments, Doge to $1. Doge isn't going to be on X payments, folks. Please. Doge isn't going to be on X payments. You just have to be ready for that. Again, doesn't mean Doge can't do a pump, but it's not going to be on X payments. Hey, Steven. Elon posted 15-second videos on X with an AI video of him saying Dogecoin to the moon. Again, he's been giving us hints. Hints, 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 hints. And here's another one. Just a little wink and a nod, like, okay, yep, Dogecoin fam, still there. Wonder when we're going to go back up. Well, for Dogecoin, when's Elon going to unleash X money? I was going to make a video on that this morning, but because the market was dumping so much, I instead made a market dump video. So probably tomorrow morning, I'm going to dive into this Elon and X money thing. That'll probably be tomorrow morning's video. Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is Doge season. I like that. I didn't tell you Doge was going to move up in October. I predicted it, right? Just like everybody else predicted October, right? Every 4-year cycle, right? I predicted it too. I was wrong. I admitted it. So what are you going to do about it, David? We definitely are not going lower, or we're not done going lower. The CME gap and a whole ton of longs, the market makers will go and take out. Yep. Matt, X money will pump Dogecoin. Again, back in October 2022, bear market, everything going down. Elon buys Twitter, Dogecoin doubles in price in the middle of a bear market. Just because Elon bought Twitter. That's what happened. So timing of Dogecoin pumping has nothing to do with bear or bull cycles, bear or bull markets. Doesn't matter. If we become bullish and more volume, we'll get the shorts. Need positive news. And that's something we don't have right now. There's not a lot of positive news out there. So what are you going to do? Are you going to sell and just wait? Or are you waiting and then sell later? Sunshine, you're welcome. Morning video was more about what was going on at the time, waking up this morning to big dump in crypto, and so I had to cover that in the morning video. OG Mars is now 100% in Doge. Don't hold anything else. Luna says, I'm not round tripping. None of us want even 4 more months of waiting. First time I've seen Bitcoin dominance fall, altcoins doing nothing. I know, because Doge or Bitcoin is getting manipulated. Totally manipulated. So, if Bitcoin goes sideways, alts can go up. Yep. Manel is only looking at XRP, Doge, and Sol. You certainly don't need like all that other crap, right? You don't need it. I don't want a tax loss harvest at the bottom, James. You're better off selling higher because the offset you get in saving taxes is little compared to the actual price of the coins you hold. So it doesn't really help you a lot. It helps you some. Again, most of that tax loss harvesting happens at the end of December. And then you buy back in on January 1st. So you can take advantage of taking some off on your tax liability. That's how it typically works. Yeah, Chris, we covered death crosses about 10 minutes ago in detail. Ryan says, I still believe in Dogecoin. 20 cents by the end of November is possible. Kevin wants 50-cent Doge. See that meme again. Yep, folks. X payments comes out and then Doge pumps, right? It'll eventually get there. I was talking about this yesterday, and I think maybe in some form Elon will put it in there, like just for tipping or just for like creator payouts or something. There'll be something he can do with Doge, but I don't think it's going to be like integrated into the whole X Money platform. We are all still siding towards still being in bull market versus bear market. So there you go. Another scientific poll. We got more bulls than bears in the house. Tell you what we're going to do. Hashtag blame Kriss. Thank you, Kriss. Well, the hard part about that, David, is those coins don't really disappear. They do kind of hang around. And eventually, like, exchanges will start dropping them, right? If there's no trading going on. But they don't go to zero. Somebody's always holding some. Who's doing the manipulation? Exchanges and market makers. It looks like some Fox, the cycles are not going to be the same anymore. There are some who say early October, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high. That's the end of the cycle. And we'll see our next all-time high in September 2029. And they just keep shifting a bit to the left. So it's not quite a 4-year cycle. It's a 3-year and 11-month cycle. Did you see that? We had November 2021, October 2025, September 2029. new all-time high. So the bear market would be about a year. So we would be looking through next summer being bear market. And by next fall of 2026, we're going to reset. That would be the 3-year, 11-month cycle is what that would be. Kind of an interesting theory. And I know Doge went up last December, but again, in 2021, Doge's all-time high was not correlated with Bitcoin. It did its own thing in April, May 2021. So that was its all-time high. So that means we would have a new Dogecoin all-time high, not in September 2029, but sometime in 2028, maybe. So kind of interesting theory. We can get into that more. Cohen's ready to round trip again. Pepsi thinks the uptrend will start on Monday. Get through the weekend and then we turn around. Some positive news. Manipulation is off the charts. Agreed, DW. Totally off the charts. Well, Luca, if we fill the CME gap, it's going to be bearish. All the way down to 91K. Doge needs to be more steady and less volatile. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. I feel a green candle's coming soon. I like your positivity. So Monero and Bitcoin are reverse translated. Actually, I voted as a bear in the poll, and that was a mistake. So you can add a little more to the poll. It doesn't let you take your vote back. You're stuck. What if Elon buys the Dogecoin Foundation? Well, that would be different. That would be different. I haven't heard that one, Jason, so I don't know where that idea came from. Unless you just made it up, but I was just like, Dogecoin Foundation, Elon. Wow. Buy low and hold, don't chase up. A-star, see you in September 2029. Waiting for 4 years. Today's a Black Friday. We got 2 more weeks until the real Black Friday. 2 more weeks. Yeah, Pengu. I'm down on my Pengu as well. That's one I will tax loss harvest in December. Because I will have far, far less to pay in taxes as a percentage next year. This year's going to be bad. So as much as I can take off my capital gains this year, I will do that. Oh, the pinger is just going mad. ETH, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, ETH, Bitcoin, ETH, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Oh, that pinger. That pinger is happening. Wow. You did a mistake on your vote too. The ugliness of Donald Trump will touch your life in some way. Trump took away our bull market. Yeah. I want out of the red box. Purple box was better. Agreed. Sunshine says, I like the volatility of Doge. Please, Elon, buy the Dogecoin Foundation. House of Doge, BTOG, Zone, all of it. I know, the pinger. Right, Manel? This is crazy. Bitcoin just dropped lower, low of the day, 94.2, low of the day on Bitcoin. Sally's dream. How you doing? So depressed. My bank wrote and said they need to close my crypto account. I have 6 days to withdraw my money. What? They really don't want anyone holding crypto, do they? Did I get my Meggle? Yes, I got my Meggle this morning. Or no, yesterday afternoon, $1.30. This morning I saw it dip down. Now it's back up to $1.32. So you're already in profit. Me as well. My $1.30 Meggle is in profit. Yep. If I sell Pengu now, I got about 30,000, can put in Doge. Not sure if I want to. So in about a month, we're going to be talking about tax implications. And I'm going to do my yearly crypto tax extravaganza live stream in about a month. And these are the types of things we're going to be talking about. Is what do you do with these what do you do with these cryptos you're holding? Do you want to sell some, tax loss harvest, and then do you rebuy the same crypto in 2026, or do you buy something else? So we will be talking about that in about 4 weeks. That sound is the pinger, Kevin. The pinger is all of these liquidations going on. Here's a Doge one, $350,000 on Doge. Somebody had a long leverage trade that just got wiped out. 350,000. Oh, we had $1 million Bitcoin one right here. $1 million on Bitcoin. Right there. Wow. Yeah, 94,200 is now Bitcoin's low on this pullback. Ouch. Litecoin somehow moved up today. Now starting to fall back some. So yeah, Friday evening, we're looking at a lot of red in the market. It would be interesting. Yes, it would, Jason. Elon, buy it all. I kind of don't see that happening. Manel thinks we're going to 98K to take out some of the new shorts up there. Yeah, I know. The heat map will show all of that. Here comes the Friday dump. It's already happening. Sounds like a casino. We're winning, right? Yeah, BTC lowest so far. The liquidation cycle. Yeah, F1. The liquidation cycle. The exchanges don't like losing money. Well, they don't lose. They always win. But they want to win more. I think that's a EU thing. Ryan, I don't know what the Scythe stock is. I haven't heard of that one. Hey, Raiden, how are you? Yeah, we're bleeding. Back in the 15s for Doge. If it comes down here to like 15.7, that will be, well, we did have a dip. Early this morning, we hit 15.76. So we're close, right where we were early this morning. There is no tax if there is no profit. But if you're someone like me who's already booked a lot of profit, if I sell some for a loss, it'll offset some of those profits. So I won't have to pay capital gains tax on some of my profits. And then 2026, I turn around and buy the crypto back. Or not. I don't know. We're not in a crash situation, Toyo. This isn't a crash. Big pullback yesterday. That was kind of crashing, but not today. Today, it's just jumping around. Little more red than green. Thought that was a Star Wars movie in the background. Yeah. The pinger. The sound of the pinger. Astro Noob thinks fill the gap and then bounce. That gets Bitcoin down into the 91s to fill the gap. Do you have to wait a month to buy back in for tax loss harvest? I will look that up before we have that live stream just to be sure. I thought it was just you could do it the next calendar year. So you could sell on December 31st and then you could buy back January 1st. That's what I remember, but I will look that up. Placing a magnet is a futile gesture. Yes, Steve. What did Elon say about Dogecoin? Elon didn't say anything about Dogecoin. However, he's giving us hints. Someone says he said Dogecoin to the moon. I did not hear that. Now, was it a post or was it a reply? I'm guessing it was a reply. I may have to scroll a bit. I may have to scroll a bit because we had that. Just playing the banjo. Elon's not saying anything there. He didn't say anything on that. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. Steven, you sent it to me? Well, my messages is now chat. It's now chat. And I don't see any notification there. It could have been somebody else doing a thing and then Elon reposting it or sharing it. That's my guess. All right, let me do this. It's there. Okay. Thank you, Stephen. Let's pull that over to my other screen here. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Ah, there we go. It took a little while. Got it. Greatly improved audio is coming along with 15 seconds. So that is reposting from somebody else. So Elon didn't actually say this. Somebody else did. Yeah. Elon didn't make this. Here's what it is. Again, Elon did not make this. Somebody else made it, and Elon reposted it.
Subsequent country, Dogecoin to the moon.
So that's what it was. We now have it on the live stream. But thanks, Stephen, for sending that. I will cover that again tomorrow morning's video. But yeah, that was not an Elon saying anything. That was AI. And you guys know I'm not a fan of those stupid AI videos. And yes, they can do voices too, which is just another thing, right? That was not Elon saying that. It's totally fake, David. Somebody made that up using AI. I hate all that AI crap. And I know, Joanna, you like the AI stuff. I hate it. I just not a fan. I'm not going to be making any stupid AI videos. Even when it goes to 15 seconds long, it's like, I'm not interested. I don't care. You want to be creative? Make a real video. Don't just do a prompt and have the AI make. Because you know the AI is actually stealing all the ideas from everybody else's original ideas. That's all it is. It's like a language model, except it's not from language. It's from the actual work of other people that the AI is learning from, which is stealing. It's all stealing. It's not original. So that's my take on it. You will not be seeing Kriss making any stupid AI videos. I know there's a gap to be filled. The top of the gap is at 93.8. The bottom is at like 91.8. So, and I talked about it at the beginning of the live stream. If anybody didn't hear that, you can rewatch from the beginning, and I covered that. And I covered that. Don't look at the 1 minute video now. Okay. You want the pinger sound for your notifications? I hear enough of that pinger sound. I don't need it on my phone. Tron has been holding up well. Tron's been doing very well. There's no doubt. Again, Tron is one of the leading platforms for stable coins. A lot of people are using USDT on Tron. So, yeah, Tron's holding up. Tron is holding up. Yeah. There's no death cross in Tron. It's just grinding up. Look at that. Oh, I'm sorry. That's weekly. Let's go back to the daily. Oh, actually, death cross is kind of coming closer. If Tron can get over 31 cents, we might not see a death cross for Tron. But it's been doing very well. I guess by Monday we will know. Hey, Sean, happy Friday. When is X payments coming out? Soon, says Elon. Soon. I'm going to make a video about it tomorrow morning, Joseph. I'm guessing Matt Wallace would probably post something about it because he knows that he would get clicks and views, and that's what he's all about. If it's below 95K into Monday, it's over. See, I say 91. 91. That's my tipping point. It's 91. And from 91, does it come back up or does it go lower? Would Tron be in a purple box? Raiden asks. Good question. To do that, it would actually be below it. It looks like it would be below it. From October 10th, if we were to make a Tron purple box, Tron didn't dump as much as other coins did, though. So it's not really fair to Tron. I'll admit that. It's not fair to Tron. But if I was making a purple box, it would be 16%. And it would look something like that. And that is not 16%. That's only 5%. Yeah, Tron isn't not the same at all because it didn't fall as much. Yeah, that would be the box. That would be a 16% box. So Tron has been in the purple box the whole time. That's what I see for Tron. Doge in the red, sadly. Red box. Squarely in the red box. 15.8. Again, not as low as we were back on the 4th of November when we were down here at like 15.4. So it's not as bad. But I get it. Doesn't look good. Hey, Morteza. Here comes the next flash crash. I don't see that coming, Danny. The worst Q4 ever. No, there have been worse. But this one just feels worse because we expected something different. Maybe December 31st, there's a big crash because everyone wants to sell before the news. Yep, that is a pattern. That does happen a lot. Am I getting paid to mislead people? What the fuck? What is that? How am I misleading people? Tell me. I really want to know. How do you think I'm misleading people? I'm one of the most honest people out there. I honestly say, I don't know what the hell the market's going to do tomorrow. I have no idea. I just put information out there and you do with it whatever you want. But I'm not misleading anybody. God. Has anyone lost 150,000 in one day? I have. Sure. Yep. But I didn't sell. But I have lost $150,000 on paper in a day. Yes. Why is Elon not using Doge on X? Too hard. Switch. Easier to use fiat. And then he'll add stable coins, I think. Not Doge. Too hard. So many macro supports. Bitcoin is just cutting them like nothing. That's just Elon supporting and hinting. Yeah, I mean, he didn't have to repost that. That's true. But yeah, it's totally fake. Doge versus BTC chart is at bottom. It's actually not at bottom. It was lower back in June, but DB, you hate AI. Raiden, hate AI. Boss loves AI, but people use it for the wrong things. Why is there so much manipulation right now? Matt, it's all about money. That's what makes the world go around is money. Money, money, money. This is exchanges not wanting leverage traders to win their bets. That's all it is. Now I have to jump on a real stage and do the Doge dance. Hey, Ely, how are you? How do you think about the market? Bear market start, or will we have hope? I've told you at the beginning what I think. If you want to hear it, there's a special message for you at the beginning of the live stream. I won't be looking at December until December 1st. Got to see how the rest of November plays out. Only about halfway through. Hey, Mark, how are you? Good thing the government went back to work. Yep, that's behind us now. But the market makers are still in control. Don't quit your day job, people. Back to work. William. Yep. Working now. I know, Fartcoin. It went under 25 cents. I remember people back then were saying, wow, if Fartcoin dips below $1, I'm going to load up. Remember that? Fartcoin dips below $1, I'm going to load up. And that guy probably did. And now he's down like 70%. Wow. Wow. Yeah, we can look at the heat map, but that doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen. So far, it's been happening a lot, yes. But, I mean, there's always green and yellow lines. And many times they do not get filled. So. Yeah, we can look at that on Bitcoin. It's thinking. A lot of data. It's churning. There we go. See, there's these shorts up here. There's lots of shorts. Here's the ones at 111, 112. That's what I was looking at. Just get to there. And that's like $300 million right there. But yeah, there's some longs down here a little further down. 200 million, 300 million. If we go down to 91.2 where the CME gap, 188 million. I mean, there's a lot of long leverage still down here where people didn't take profits. They should have closed out those leverage longs when Bitcoin was up over 120, but they didn't. They're still here. Greed. Greed. Those traders should have closed out their positions and taken the profit. And now they're barely hanging on. But yeah, these go all the way down to 80K, big numbers. And then even further. And if this zoomed out even further, you'd find more long leverage that goes beyond a year where people still have those trades open, making a ton of money. It's just these heat maps don't go out that far. Could that have been it? Could that have been the last flush of leverage? The pinger has been pretty quiet the past 5 minutes. It's been pretty quiet. So maybe that was it. 4 o'clock, done. Now we go back up. Maybe one day I'll retire. Me too, William. I can't wait. Investing at your own risk. Exactly. What is this shit? Close your channel. You're horrible. Dude. Tell me why, please, Capote. I won't block you. Just tell me why, because that's ridiculous. No, Elon's just not openly posting about Dogecoin. I think his lawyers told him not to. Bitcoin was supposed to be what Doge is now. The whole store of value, institutions buying it, ruined the market. I know, right? People still asking what the status is after seeing every YouTuber not be able to predict where the market goes. I know, right? It's a thankless job I have. Thankless. If you can't take the volatility, just get out of crypto. Well, you're right. Some people just can't take it. They should just get out. Exactly. People just want to blame me. And I'm like, get some shorts now. Yeah, 1.4 million. Somebody just lost $1.5 million in the past 20 minutes. Do you believe that? Right there. They did an ETH short and they just got liquidated. Wow. Idiots. Somebody did an ETH short right here. Liquidation price was there and they just got liquidated. That must have been a big ass short. Just got liquidated. $1.4 million. Can you imagine losing $1.5 million in like 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Gone. Binance. That was Binance. That was all Binance on ETH. Khan's looking at 91K. You got BE on my long. Danny's buying that 91K. Yeah, it looks like it's about 91.3, 91.4 is the level. Another cycle, another round trip. Listening to the Moon Boys. Don't listen to the Moon Boys. Right? I admit, I was on the 4-year cycle plan, right? And I said very, very openly and honestly, I'll keep believing the 4-year cycles until there's no more 4-year cycle. I said that many times. Well, October was not up. Moonvember is not moon. So the 4-year cycle could be, again, 3 years and 11 months. I laughed when 2024 came around, stacked up on Doge. I said, I'm never round tripping. And now 2 years later, was up so much money and greed got the best of me. Folks, thank you for being honest. I get it. This weekend will be interesting. Yeah, I'll be live on Sunday to wrap up the weekend. I will not have a Saturday live. I'll be live on Sunday. We'll wrap up the weekend and look forward to next week. Compo is retired, no debt. I am no debt. Early retirement soon, maybe? Early retirement? And Eric thinks 14 cent support for Doge would bounce us up to 30. Low rollers here for our update on Mega Millions. $980 million. It's a story as old as time, Julian. People want to blame someone else other than their own. lack of research or whatever. Dan Gambardello has got people wrecked? No, people got people wrecked. If you listen to some guy like him and you follow him and do what he does, you still only have yourself to blame. Kriss didn't force you to buy crypto. Dan Gambardello didn't force you to buy anything either. Anything can happen. They dump when they dump, sci-fi, to take out the leverage. Hey, 16-cent Doge again. Look at that. Yeah, maybe that was the dip. Well, I mean, Eurovinci last year, November was awesome. Doge went up 300%, remember? Well, 300% from the dip in October, but 200 and something for the month. But there was a reason for it. Low roller. If you win Mega Millions, you have to at least buy some people some memberships on my channel, because I continue to support you and to show all your chats. So you got to give a little bit, okay? Can you do that? Just buy a few memberships for some people. That'd be awesome. You'd have so much money, you could afford it. Colin Talks Crypto is still very bull. Yeah, we showed him earlier. Right there. We showed Colin. You missed me. You missed me showing a Colin Talks Crypto chart. We covered this earlier in the live stream here, Con. If it hits 91, I'm loading up on Doge. There will be a mini or alt season someday in the coming 3 years. Well, Julian, yeah, I mean, for Dogecoin, it'll happen when the news happens. Yeah, I mean, all of that Bitcoin that MicroStrategy was buying up over $120,000, he's down on all that. That was a lot. That was a lot of Bitcoin. The final shakeout before the final shakeout before the final shakeout. Gold dropped today, David. Gold. Yep. Gold. It was kind of overnight. Drop on gold. S&P 500 ended up recovering and ended up green. NASDAQ recovered from the market open, ended up green. Interesting. Dan Gambardello has 1 million followers. At that level, you have a duty. All I said to Jake is XRP at $100 yet, and he booted you. Wow. It takes more than that to get booted on this channel. Going to keep stacking. Joe, of course, blames me. Yes, I know. You're only up 300%. Blame Kriss. My bubble. Yes, I show your chats and you gifted memberships. Well, thank you. My bubble gifted some memberships. King of Kings RKP, Johnny B. Hey, Johnny. You're a member now. Nismo. Hey, Nismo's in the house. Kind of lurking there, Nismo, huh? Michael Cartwright, Peter Shermer, all received gift memberships. Awesome. Thank you, my bubble. And then we got some more. Sally's Dream also gifted memberships. Sargon, ETB, Buns Chart Volatility Rider, Elegantly Wasted, Jonathan Schaefer. Congratulations. You are now members of the KrissPax channel. Thank you, Sally's Dream. Thank you, my bubble. Appreciate it. If it's anyone's fault, it's Trump's. Just blame Trump. According to Grok, whales are buying Doge. Except Grok is being trained on people who don't know the difference between a purchase and a transfer. And so Grok really doesn't know. I have never bought gold, David. Never bought. MGO says the bottom is in. Well, we covered that last week. Is the bottom in? And it wasn't. Today we're lower. So maybe today the bottom's in. Just needed a cheer. Thank you, Sally Stream. I bought the bottom, then I bought the bottom, and then I bought the bottom again. I know. I know. Welcome to all the new members. Smash them, guys. Subscribe also. Appreciate the subs. I'm going to drown my sorrows in a burger. Here we go again. Food talk. Thank you, DB. Thank you, Goose. Congrats being in the channels list. Wow. I didn't know that. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know that. What happened after the last Q4 that was worse than this? Let's see on quarters. On quarters. No. I don't want that. Stupid. In 2022, we were down 14% for Q4. And in the beginning of 2023, Bitcoin went up 71%. Right? In 2018, Bitcoin went down 42% in Q4. It went up 8% in Q1 the following year, followed by 159% in Q2. And in 2015, long time ago, Bitcoin was down 16% in Q4. It continued to go down 24% in Q1 the next year. What did ETH do? Same thing. 2016 down 39%, but then Q1 2017 it went up 500%. Q4 2018 ETH was down 41%. It went up 5%. Q1 2019, and then 102 in Q2. And then down 28% in 2019, but went up 3% Q1 2020 and up 69% in Q2 2020. So ETH has always turned around. Bitcoin had one anomaly, but then made up for it in Q2. That's what that looks like, Matt. Hope everyone has an awesome day. I know, Black Wolf, isn't that true? People complain when prices drop, but then when they go up and they didn't buy, then there's, oh, I wish it will drop again so I can buy more. And just like you just had an opportunity to buy. It was right there for you. Teresa, gonna drink some margaritas? I'm not really optimistic for an alt season, but I'm optimistic for a Doge season. Elon and his signals, I know, right? He doesn't have to repost that stuff, but he does. Every time Eric Trump opens his mouth about Bitcoin, we capitulate. Yes. Anything with the Trumps. So historically speaking, there's still hope for, yep. There's still hope, Matt. It doesn't mean it's going to be a red Q1. Maybe we're just delayed. Possibly. Right. We may not be in a 4-year cycle anymore, Gappy. I don't know where to find limit orders, Eric. I don't have those charts. Did Powell, well, again, it's the Fed, right? It's the board. It's not just Powell, but holding up on rate cuts put the market back about 6 to 8 months. You know, I really didn't expect to see rate cuts until July, but he didn't, or the Fed did not vote to begin the rate cuts in July. So I think it's only a few months. So Dogecoin could pump without an alt season. True. Again, we saw it in 2022. It did happen. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's video. Me too. I'm looking forward to it. I was going to do it this morning, but the market was like dumping, and I was like, you know, I should probably cover that instead. So I did. There was no alt season. We had an alt moment. An alt moment. It was last November, 1 year ago. We were greedy 1 year ago. That's for sure. I think this is the day I actually took profit. 11:14. I think this is the day. I think it was 11:14. Yeah. Right there. 42 cents. Doge hit 42 cents 1 year ago. And Kriss took profit right there. So it's my fault. I know, Ron, right? I told you guys what I was doing. And that ended up being pretty good. I didn't get the top. I was, as we were going up into December, I was predicting 50-cent Doge. It just looked like from the fibs and other things we were looking at, 50-cent Doge. And I did not take another slice. I was close. Started to come back in January. We went from 32, 33 cents up to 43 cents on that second run there. But then it topped out because of stupid Trump token. The stupid Trump token. We were at 42 cents again. And then it went down, down lower, and that's where I bailed on everything else. It was right there. So yeah, it was Trump's fault. But we got this big pump because of Trump and Elon. That was fun. But this week, it has been tough. These last 4 big red candles on the daily, that's been tough, no doubt. Robinhood keeps adding cryptos just because they make money. They're just adding cryptos they think are going to have high volume trading so they can make money. It's all it's about. Tom Crown has a theory with the death cross. I wonder what his theory is. I didn't hear him talk about that. But Bitcoin death cross is coming. Saturday or Sunday. I had predicted Sunday, but it looks like it may actually touch tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, tomorrow night. I think it's going to touch tomorrow night. A different type of crypto market. Yeah, big psycho. What do you want to call it? Tell me what you want to call it. Appreciate it, Compo. Thank you. So you're telling me there's a chance? Yep, there's a chance. Jim Carrey says, yeah, there's a chance. And Q4 ain't done yet. That's true as well, Sunshine. Yep. That is true. Don't you think when Trump opens his mouth with good news, his opponents just crash it before, just for him not to? Yeah. Could be a long 3 years. I think he will continue to try and support at least the stock market. He doesn't care about crypto. He really doesn't. But I think he'll support the stock market. Whatever he can do. That was a Bitcoin long at $170,000. That was another new trade. It just got liquidated. How big of a slice did I sell at 42? It was about 15%. 15, 16%. Not enough. Not enough. I know Zcash had an alt season, right, Aussie? Zcash, big time. And you thought I was taking profits too early last November. I know, Angel. I thought I might have been too, but I did it anyway. Didn't quite make my next target, though. I was doing it on percentages, and the next percentage was going to be right over 50 cents, and it didn't make it. All I know is the big boys are attempting to run the little guys away so they and their banks can get rich without us. Yep. We have our little corner of the market, and we just hold on and we do the best we can. But we are not the big boys. Did you really? You just watched Dumb and Dumber last night? That's awesome, Sunshine. That's awesome. So you're telling me there's a chance? Exactly, Matt. Trump doesn't care about crypto. He cares about the stock market. The stock market does not influence crypto. Some days it does, But again, that's an overall market thing because there's like bad economic news or something like that that would have affected crypto anyway. Yeah, we looked at the previous government shutdowns and it was mixed, Oscar. Do you think ABTC, that's the American Bitcoin company, wants to take out Saylor and liquidate him? Why would they want to do that? They would be losing so much money trying to do that. And even if they got Bitcoin down to like 72K or 74 or whatever strategies average is now, it still doesn't liquidate them. It's not like they have some leverage trade open that has a liquidation price. They would be under on their overall Bitcoin stash if that happened, which would tank their stock price, but it doesn't liquidate them. I think there'll always be believers that'll buy the dips. And that'll keep MicroStrategy afloat. So yeah, I don't see ABTC doing that. PaxCat has just given up on the live streams. I don't know what's going on with him. If that house hadn't gone on the market, Matt, or this house, I mean, if it hadn't gone on the market, I mean, I was looking. This one just was good. There were other houses, but this is the one I preferred. I might have bought another one if this didn't go through. I don't know. I don't know. Right. The whole Trump team, very bad for crypto. And yet they think they're still good for crypto. I was at the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas in May. Eric and Don Jr. were there. And everybody was like, ooh, Eric, ooh, Don, ooh. Standing ovations. Like, I was in the session where they talked. I was in the back. There were so many people in there. And they don't know anything more than anybody else, really. They just have a lot of money. That's all. Eating ramen. All my lobster money is in Doge. I don't think Saylor is staring at his laptop watching the RSI, the MACD, the price of gold. Right? Is this another shakeout? It could just be, Vince. There's no way of knowing, but it could be. Bitcoin actually dropped below its yearly open earlier today. Somebody had posted that on X, I saw. Red for the year for a little bit. Exactly. Trump said at the Bitcoin conference, you're going to love me. That was the Bitcoin conference the year before, not the one I went to. I just saw Don Jr. and Eric, not President. PaxCat is out rat catching the market makers. He probably wouldn't like them. That's for sure. Give them time, DB? No, they tanked the market. Oh. No, they don't get any time. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Yeah, another Chicken Little in the house, right, Rajika? Ah! if more and more publicly traded companies are buying crypto for reserves, does that make them more correlated to crypto prices between stock and crypto? Possibly. I didn't see what happened after market. MicroStrategy still below 200. NVIDIA ended up in the green on the day, now falling back a little after market. Zone 39 cents. Dumb. Bit origin 27 cents. Dumb. Bragg House $1.10. Still down from before, but at least was in the green today. And my Maggle is after market $1.29. But that's not bad. This is the accumulation phase in the Meggle stock. Accumulation phase. Meggle. It's just my thing. Hey, Israel, how are you? Boy, oh boy. Fun and exciting time. Yeah. Good night, sunshine. What's my take on a Monero sale on Coinbase? I don't know what that is. Are they starting to trade Monero? Tell me about Monero sale on Coinbase. Monero, privacy-focused crypto, launched in 2014, emphasizes fungibility, blah, 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 blah. Coinbase, one of the largest US-based crypto exchanges, does not list Monero for trading, buying, selling, or holding. You cannot directly purchase or sell XMR on Coinbase's platform. This has been the case since Coinbase's inception, with no changes as of late 2025. So I don't know where you saw that news, but Grok doesn't have anything on this. Meggle dipped to $1.25, Chuck. That's what I saw. $1.25, right? Oh, it did hit $1.20 at the bottom. Somebody got some at $1.20. That was like an instant thing. Good timing on their part. Good timing. Pex Cat doesn't associate with us losers. That must be it. Exactly. He's probably got a bag of Zcash and he's just like, you guys have no idea. He's sitting on Zcash. Oh. Yeah, that was all the tariff stuff around town. After the inauguration, it was like 2 weeks after. And that's when I sold most of my other altcoins. Because I could see as soon as that tariff thing hit, I was like, this is bad. That's a lie. So Grok doesn't know. It's on Coinbase app. Well, instead of checking Google, I'll just check the Coinbase app, right? I'll just do that. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. Search. XMR. XMR. They show it. This asset is not supported by Coinbase. I don't have Coinbase One. Psycho. I don't have Coinbase One, but I do have regular Coinbase, and it says this asset is not supported. So can we buy the dip now? Do you want to? $15.98. Still in the 15s. Is this your last chance in the 15s, or is it going to go lower? You got to take that chance, man. I can't tell you what to do. I don't know. It's a sale for Coinbase One members. Okay. All right. Well, we learned. Even if it is not the beginning of the bear market, you can't deny how good the prices are looking. If you think crypto isn't in a tulip bubble, right, and it's just not crashing to zero, then yep, $15.99 on sale now. $15.99. Get your Dogecoin right here. $15.99. I think it's about time we started moving up penny by penny again, don't you? 17 cents, right? Get us out of the purple box, or get us out of the red box. 18 cents. That will get us into the purple box, right? Penny by penny, right? Penny by penny. 16 cents now. 17 cents gets us out of the red box. 18 cents gets us into the purple box. And then we've got to go 19, 20, and 21. Yes, we have to get to 21 cents to get out of the purple box. We should start penny by penny by penny. Can we do that? I don't want to see 14.6 down here. This is a major support line here. With Dogecoin, this 14.6 line is like alive or dead. 14.6. We do not want that. No one is worthy of the Pax cat. Yeah, penny by penny. Those days were fun, weren't they, Chuck? That was July. Awesome. Penny by penny by penny. We need to do that again. Well, Mom, but people may sell here because they think we're in a bear market and the price is just going to keep going lower. And so they'll take their licks and just sell now. Is crypto in a bear market? The yeses are 37%. The nos are 63%. So mostly the chat here is bullish. Bullish. I'll take a higher low. When did you sell? 1 year ago today. I took my first slice of profits on Dogecoin at 42.069. That was my limit order I set, 42.069. And it hit 1 year ago today. And that was about 15, 16% of my overall Dogecoin stash was that day. Yeah. And then people accuse me of making them buy at like 45, 48 cents. And I'm just like, I was selling. I don't know how anybody can confuse that with me making you buy. Now, I did talk about the next level of where I thought Doge would go to take my next slice, but I wasn't buying any. And on a percentage basis, that was like just over 50. Yeah, just over 50 cents was going to be my next slice. And Doge didn't quite get there. I'm done buying Dogecoin for right now, Matt says. I need to know my average cost, calculate profit. Yep, I get it. Don't forget to smash the like, subscribe. I agree, Kronos. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know why not a higher percentage of my viewers aren't subscribed. It's actually pretty low. The number of people that watch my videos and come in on live streams that aren't subscribed. Again, I don't make a big thing about subscribers, but it's just, it surprises me a little bit. Sargon. Yeah. It's bearish, but not yet a bear market. But yes, bearish. I agree. I've been looking at these 8 lemons I picked today, and I can't think of anything other than lemonade. I like, because I'm in Boston, so I like a codfish, right? And I like to take some lemon slices and squeeze them over the cod. Maybe put a little breading. Oh, it's so good. That's about the best thing I use lemons for. Buying little bits at a time. You haven't seen my cat, Gene? My cat joins us on these live streams every now and then. He's been rather shy, though. I think he doesn't like the bear market. Maybe he's afraid of bears. He loves the bulls, though. Absolutely loves the bulls. How do I think I will do on YouTube? You know, I'm doing all right. I mean, it's not a big goal of mine. I need to have 100,000 subs, or I just do my thing. I like to talk about it, and the people who are here, they're here. If you get enjoyment out of or learn something from what I have to say, awesome, right? That's all. My viewership has steadily grown. Actually, no. It is spiked when Dogecoin goes on pumps, and then it slows down when Dogecoin dumps. That's basically what happens. I mean, over the summer in July, we had like lots of people in the chat. We had lots of people watching all my videos. But now, when things are bearish, it's all a function of how the market is doing. So that's all. We'll see what happens next year. If you are long bull, a bear market should actually be great news. Buy more at a lower price. Lemons and hot sauce on the cod. Yes, add a little hot sauce. Agreed. I don't know how people put that stuff like on their eggs in the morning. Like first thing in the morning, take some of that Tabasco sauce, right? And put it on your eggs. It's like, I'm not ready for that yet. I don't know. Buy now, and then next week, buy again. Rinse and repeat. Do I still have the 8 ball? Yes. $2025 Bitcoin equals 2017 Bitcoin. Not quite. 2017, we hit 20,000. That was it. A little bit higher this time. Will I take a break from lives during the bear market time frame? I haven't decided yet. I am looking at 2026 being a different kind of year for me. Kind of working through some things right now. So I don't know how that's all going to play out yet. Talking to my family, well, I'll have to start talking to my work. Am I really going to do an early retirement? And if I do the early retirement, then that could mean more traveling and doing other stuff. So, I mean, crypto's been very good to me this year because I sold some a year ago and the rest, not all the rest, but a lot of it in January. So I did very well this cycle. And the rest that I have now, I'm still up because I still bought most of it in 2023. And this is, for those that don't know, I do have this portfolio that I still have, which is this portfolio, which is our KrissPax DCA portfolio. And it's still up $13,000. I put $10,000 into this, and it's at 23,743. So still in the green. Not as much as it was, obviously, last November. I was up 400%. Now I'm up, 115%, but still up. Because again, I was buying most of my crypto from the end of 2022 through 2023. And almost everything in crypto is up since then. So it's all still in the green. And I didn't sell any of this. I still have all of this crypto. Doge, Bitcoin, XRP, ETH, Jasmy, Litecoin, Algorand, Sheeb, and those are all in the green still. And the plan was to sell a lot of this in November, but the price is lower than when I was making that decision of whether to do that or not. So, back in July, we were very bullish. I mean, Dogecoin was at 28-30 cents. We were like very bullish on October and November, and it just hasn't happened. So I still have all of this, and I still have, another 300 and some odd thousand Dogecoin, and others who I've talked about, like Bonk and Pepe. Yeah. And some other Bitcoin I still have. So that's what I have. But like 80% of my crypto I had sold by January 2025. Because that whole Trump tariff thing totally spooked me. Plus, I found a house I wanted to buy. So yeah, I may be doing my early retirement and just being done with that part. Am I still bullish, Sargon? I invite you to go back. Once this live stream is done, I invite you to go watch the first 10 or 15 minutes of this live stream, okay? Because I covered all of that then. What about the ETFs? Until there's a Doge ETF, I'm not really watching them on a day-to-day basis. And that Rex Osprey one doesn't really count. Although I do own some of it because I bought just to follow it, and it's down. But I don't know about inflows and outflows. I just look at the price. Thank you, Chuck. Learning a lot. You can't leave me. When did I first get into crypto? I actually bought first January 28th, 2021. 2-cent Dogecoin. That's my first purchase. I knew about it since 2018. I just didn't buy any in 2018 because every time I looked at the price, it was going down. It was bear market. So. I was planning to sell in November too, but we'll probably keep accumulating. Kriss was conceived by the crypto gods. Yeah, not so much. Well, thanks, Hulkmania. I mean, I still think overall in crypto, we're still very young, right? The whole blockchain technology and everything around crypto, we're still very early. So yeah, there's volatility. Yeah. And if you can't handle the volatility, I don't know what to say. I talk about that all the time. So when you retire, I hope you'll still live stream. I got some watching eyeballs from Charlotte. Some eyeballs. Oh. XRP is my biggest gainer percentage-wise in that list, yes. My overall personal holdings, my biggest gainer percentage-wise was Jasmy. 10%. I mean, sorry, 10x on my Jasmy. That was my biggest gainer percentage-wise of everything I own from that I sold. Because it only counts when you sell it, right? So that was Jasmy. I don't look at the price. It's just noise. Could ETFs come at any day now? They could. We know the Bitwise one, I think it's the Bitwise one, is already on the CFTC accounting or whatever it's called. So it could surprise us. Kriss masterfully handled the rest. Well, Charlotte, now you're in charge of Rhine. That's what we thought. Bitcoin dominance still going down against Ben Cowan's prediction, which makes me think the exchanges are accumulating for an alt season in December. Interesting. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance, big red candles. Yeah, it's just a weird day today. A red day. Alts were down, but Bitcoin was down harder. And we typically don't get that. Well, it was down harder than some. Didn't drop as hard as Pepe did. Pepe went down bad. Of course, I own some of this now. Oh. I wait for meme coin season. Happy Friday, music. Someone is accumulating, especially Doge. Doge is holding up actually pretty well compared to what happened to Bitcoin. Good afternoon, CDC. Mercury retrograde, is that what it is, music? Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Strange things are afoot. I know someone who likes feet. She may be listening. Feet, oh no! Some is best. If you leave us, where will you go? What will you do? Look to the stars. Oh, I'll be around. I plan on doing a lot of traveling. And it's hard to do a daily live stream while you're traveling. So I've sacrificed a lot over the past 25 years and haven't done much traveling. I'll do little bits here and there, but I want to do some more extended traveling. So feet. How is the volume? Well, since we had red days, volume probably ticked up. Yeah. Well, not too bad. I mean, obviously October 10th was a huge volume day, right? Because of the big wick. November 4th was a big volume day. Today wasn't as much. So, no, a little bit above average than what we normally see, but we can look at the actual amount here. Dogecoin, 3 billion. I think we only had 2 billion the other day. It's up to 3 billion for Doge today. 3 billion. Woohoo! 16-cent Dogecoin. Woohoo! Let's go. No more of that $15.99 stuff. You had your chance to buy. Days that Kriss will not be live streaming, just head over to his channel and listen for about an hour. Just listen to the intro. It'll always be there. That's for sure. All eyes on Doge. Always be there. Malfunctioning smoke machine is getting married tomorrow. Getting married tomorrow. Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great day. VP hit the rock bottom, literally depressed. You know, I don't really feel bad for him. He had an opportunity to buy crypto in the bottom of the bear market, and instead he was chasing shit coins. You know? Because I remember him saying that. He was chasing shit coins. So, yeah. Do you take Dogecoin to be your wedded wife? Yes, I do. I do. That's funny. Oh, that is funny. Matt Trollis. I like that, Kronos. Matt Trollis. That is funny. Music's going to be at a wedding tomorrow. Probably not the malfunctioning smoke machine, though. But yeah, that is funny. Do you take this Dogecoin to be your wedded wife? Before the rockets blast, remember, you have to cool the engines first. Words of wisdom there. Good words of wisdom. For some reason, let me refresh this coin market cap. I mean, what is it with Zcash? Keeps going up. Dash, Starknet, and Soon. On a red day, these were all up. Someone asked about Aster earlier. Aster is also up about 4.5%, 5%. Maple Finance. Canton, CC. I have no idea what that is. And the pinger. That was a Bitcoin short, $177,000 on a Bitcoin short. Just got taken out. Let's go get those shorts, huh? How about that? Let's go get all the shorts. Bitcoin back up over 100K. Let's do that. Wipe out the shorts. I think we should do that. I think my ex-wife got me prepared for crypto. You know, I probably wouldn't have sold the house and put all my money into crypto if I was still married. That would not have happened. That's guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. "12 days, and then you'll have been married for 24 years, Johanna. Wow. Congratulations. You guys seem like you're best friends, though. I can tell. And that's the key right there. Not only married, but you're best friends, too. That's awesome. Kudos to you guys. Go watch the first 10 minutes of the live stream, Eat My Shorts. There's a special message for you there, right at the beginning. All right? I cover it all then. Knew you'd like it because it's funny and true. Agreed, Crows. Agreed. Agreed. Miguel, how are you? Before I go back to the video in the beginning, am I missing anything? Yeah, it's all at the beginning, Miguel. Short-term bearish, that's for sure. But as we've been live, we've seen this thing bottom out and turn around right now. So right now, and as we guessed back here an hour ago, that might have been the bottom on this dip, and now we're moving higher. So, yep. Sure, Duchess. Maybe crypto just bottomed. Exactly right. Yep. About an hour ago, while we were live. Oh. Good night, Sal. Did it pay off? Yes. I sold my house, YOLO'd in, and it did pay off. If I had not put that house equity into the market, I wouldn't have been able to make $2 million. So, yes, it paid off well. And that's how I'm now thinking about early retirement, because I can do that now because I have no debt. Not only did I get rid of my old house, I got rid of my old mortgage too. Was it a chance? Sure. It was a huge chance. Huge chance. But yep. Conviction remains strong. Excuse me. When Bitcoin closes below 103 on Sunday, the sell-off will be crazy. Do you think there's that many people really following the 50-week moving average and think that that's going to be the end of times, right? You think that? I think it's a small percentage of people that are all into technical analysis that are thinking that. But if it happens, then we might hit that CME gap by Monday, right? Maybe we'll hit that CME gap and that'll be that, right? Go get that CME gap before we go higher. I agree. Hold tight. Market makers in action. You know, Con, there's not going to be a recession. Officially, there will be no recession. We could get back to that time during the Biden administration when we kind of felt we were in a recession, although officially, we never had 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. So, and Trump is going to do everything he can by manipulating the energy prices down so that we won't have 2 quarters of negative GDP. So we will not have a recession. I don't think we will. But I agree, a lot of alts will not recover. Yes. There's too many cryptos, too much crap out there. Which is why my whole portfolio is going to shrink down to 2 or 3 cryptos, and that's it. I thought I would ride a meme coin wave, right? The meme wave with some Pepe and some Bonk. And I'm down on both of them. But hey, I got in late, and I was using money that I had already made profits on other coins in. So it wasn't like this was fresh new money coming into the market and buying something that's going down. I was like, for instance, I sold Peak. Now, Peak was down. It's much further down now than where I sold it. But I rotated that. And yeah, that's not doing well. But others were off profits. Hulkmania is going to shrink down to 0 crypto. You're going to be all out by the end of the year, maybe? I know, no shoulda, woulda, couldas. You got me, Goose. But yeah, no shoulda, woulda, couldas. We did what we did. Christian, you'll need to watch the first 10 minutes. I cover CME gaps in detail. Is it guaranteed that it hits? Nope. But there's a lot of people who believe, oh, it has to hit that, close that CME gap before we go higher. There's a lot of CME gaps in the past that never got filled. So there's that. But yeah, I go into detail right at the beginning of the live stream. I've got the CME futures chart up on the screen. I show all of the gaps in detail, talk about what it is, all of that. I buy crypto because the money is safer there. My missus would spend it away. If it sells off, YOLO. You know, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. You don't know what's going to happen with crypto in the future. But I'm feeling good things, at least for the top cryptos, which is why I'll never go off into low market cap alts and all that stuff. I'm not messing with that stuff. And look, even VP says the same thing, right? He says he missed out a lot on this cycle. He could have just bought Bitcoin, Solana, Doge, and he'd have been done fine. But he was chasing DEX screener tokens and stuff. So there's something to learn there. And you're not going to I don't know. Best to just learn from that. Words like could, possibly, might. Yep. Because nobody knows. It is speculation, Matt. Exactly. Absolutely, it's speculation. This is all a big risk, buying crypto. I've always said that. Huge risk. So yes, could, possibly, might are the correct words. I have no idea what crypto is doing this weekend, where it's going to be on Monday. There's nothing that can tell you that. We are not in control. Now, eventually, I believe there's going to be some awesome news that's going to come out, like X money, and Retail buyers are going to come in and they're going to buy a crap ton of Dogecoin, and the price of Dogecoin is going to go up. We saw it happen a year ago with the Elon Musk Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, and all the hype around that, right? Doge price spiked up. I'm guessing that's going to happen again. That's going to happen again. So I wait. You think CZ is going to come and pump your bags? I wouldn't be so sure. Did Pepe just drop below 5? Ouch. Yep, 49.66. Ouch. Yeah, that's bad. For some who believe there might be a big bull run, Pepe would be a good buy. But yeah, down. See you, music. The White Mountain wedding tomorrow. It's going to be chilly up there. It's going to be chilly. That I know. In November. I bought ETH and Sol today because those are the only two which Gemini has staking. Yeah, staking rewards are great. They're like dividends in stocks. And you buy and you hold. You earn more ETH, you earn more Sol. And the next bull market, you'll win bigger. Is the cycle over? Apothecary, you know better than to ask me that question. You got to watch the first 10 or 15 minutes of the live stream. I covered that all in detail. You're welcome, Kronos. Can't believe Fartcoin wasn't a long-term investment. Can you imagine that? Boy, at that time when Fartcoin was like trading way up high, like all of the people just talking about like, oh, it's the next Dogecoin and blah, blah. I was just like, no, no. I never bought any of that. And then, as I said earlier, and then when it dipped below $1, it's like, oh, I'm going to load up. Fartcoin goes below $1. I'm going to load up. And now it's at like 24 cents. Handy Dan, you want to talk some food? Meatloaf, Billy Joel's wife's recipe with baked potato and asparagus. Yeah. That sounds like a good hearty meal. Very nice. What do I think of Toshi? I don't follow Toshi at all. It's probably just another meme that will go up and down, be very volatile, be tough to hold in a bear market. We swim with the whales. I covered that at the beginning of the live stream, Sargon, what my opinion is on when a bear market is. First 10 minutes of this live stream. I answered that question specifically in my humble opinion. Did the accountants laugh harder when their clients made money or lost money on Fartcoin? Probably on the loss. For those that bought low and sold high, they'll probably go, on Fartcoin, huh? Good for you. But losing money on Fartcoin? People are saying if Bitcoin doesn't climb back to 103 by Sunday's closing, we're officially in a bear market. Those are just the ones who believe in the 50-week moving average. That's it. That's the 50-week moving average crowd, of which all these other crypto YouTubers are all talking about make or break. And I'm like, but we'll see. You think it's not over? Santa rally coming? Yeah, I just don't want to go through the whole. It takes me 10 minutes to go through it all again. And it's already there at the beginning of the live stream. So I'm just not going to repeat myself because it's all there. Anybody can just scroll back and see the first 10 minutes where I cover all of that. It only takes one big God cucumber candle. And then the stream will be called We Are So Back. I can't wait for that day. I can't wait to title a live stream, We Are So Back. Christian recommends everyone watch the first 10 minutes. Amazing stuff. Wow. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Love it. Thank you. The regular weekend pump is coming. You think, Anthony? I think chop, unfortunately. Solana ETF has seen inflows. Doge ETF should be good. Right. But this cycle is different, Kevin. This cycle is different. We are not done. There will be a final melt up before we go bear. I can't believe in the 50 week because I'm not quite bright enough to understand. Yeah, it's all right. What's my opinion on MicroStrategy? When everyone was all bullish on MicroStrategy stock as being the equivalent of buying Bitcoin, I was like, no, it's a risky trade. I did swing trade it a year ago, and I made money on the swing trade on MicroStrategy, but it's not a long-term hold. And as we've seen the past few weeks, the MicroStrategy stock has gone down a lot. So, and now, I mean, people who are more into it know what MNAV is and how it's trading against that. And I don't follow all that stuff in that much detail. But if all of the company's profits are now being determined by the price of Bitcoin, that's a risky strategy. Ooh, did I say that? MicroStrategy. That's now just strategy B now. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Maybe Hulkmania. Maybe the bull market is starting. I don't discount it. I just don't have the conviction myself to call it yet. That's all I'm saying. This cycle is different. Famous last words, I know. Could be, but there will always be people saying all the way to 5-cent Doge. And I don't think in the bear market, Doge is going to go all the way back to 5 cents. I think there's too much being built and coming for Dogecoin for it to go all the way back down to 5 cents. So, will you buy? I'm not buying anything right now. This is end of market kind of thing. And even if it's extended and it goes further, I'm looking for the best time to take some more profits is what I'm looking at. I'm not buying anything. Waiting for alt season is like watching the Titanic depart from port. Yeah. We need that so back video before Thanksgiving. That would be nice. That's all right, Sargon. You can, yeah, I'm going to be calling the stream here in a minute anyway, so that you can watch the beginning. Sold 210,000 Doge at 39 cents. Average was 5.9. We'll repeat again. That's it. That's the best way to trade Dogecoin. I would buy here if I still had money. 15 cent Doge. That's what we got now. All right, my friends. I'll be live again on Sunday. Will not be doing a live stream on Saturday. But I will be doing that video on X money, Elon, what's going on with that. That'll be tomorrow, unless there's either some huge crash or some huge pump. Kind of thinking it's going to be Friday night into Saturday morning, going to be rather choppy here. Not going to be some huge movement from here. That's my guess. So with that, I hope everyone has a great Friday night, and we'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.